that's willing to take anything.
Nick
and
is
you
here.
display a lot of interest of females for you. Nick is here. Hello, Nick.
Hey, what's going on?
Let's
How
see
you
your,
doing?
do you have a cam?
I do. I
wanna
do,
meet
but
you.
I'm not in my suit yet, actually. So
Oh, this is like a young guy. I thought this was going to be an older guy.
no, I'm
Yeah.
20. I turned 20 last
Nick
week.
is a young
20?
American
Ooh.
conservative.
Does he have a channel or something?
I do. Yeah, I can't stay for long because I'm going live in about 15 minutes. But
Oh, we should pop on over to your channel so you can rip me to shreds for my
oh boy, yeah, I bet you'd like
liberal
that.
lifestyle.
I bet you'd like that. But no. Sorry, the America First program is a no thought zone, unfortunately. So we're not going to be able to move it over there. I don't know. I mean, JF, I have
call me a
watched on the
thought.
screen. Well, I mean, you're a porn star, right? Isn't that?
I'm an ex-porn star, but now I run a company that I've raised $200,000 for. So am I still a thought now?
Once a thought, always a thought. And hey, look, if, in my opinion, if you breathe, you're a thought. But
So basically, you've never had sex, is what you're telling me?
correct. Well, I'm not married, so why should I have had sex before?
Because if you have, I don't think you'd be like this.
Well, that's very interesting. Well, you're coming at it from a different paradigm. I mean, are you religious? Are you a religious person?
I believe in something, yeah. I don't.
Well, what is that? Do you believe in God?
So there's just so many different ways to believe in God, and when you start getting into that conversation, it can be very controversial. So I have my own belief system, but I'm not an atheist. I can tell you.
Well, you're not a Christian, right?
I don't know how to answer that because I wouldn't say I'm not, and I'm not. And so, okay, basically what it comes down to is I just think there's a lot of different religions that seem to have a lot of overlapping similarities, which I find very interesting. And it's interesting how similar they can be. I've taken, theology classes. I went to a Catholic college, believe it or not. And, it's hard for me to ascribe to just like one Bible, especially like the King James Bible edition actually reads a lot differently than if you read like a Jewish translation of Hebrew of the Old Testament. They read a lot differently. Like the Jewish translations are way raunchier than the King James. So it's hard for me to say I'm definitely believe in this because it's questionable in a lot of ways.
Oh, boy, you went to college. It's funny because I
went to
dropped out
college.
of college.
Oh, surprise.
No, I just
You're in college.
I dropped out of college, and it's just funny because I encounter so many people who have gone to college or have graduated, and I listen to people talk like yourself who have gone to college, and I shake my head, and I'm like, good thing I'm not wasting the money, right? Well, I ask because to me, it's a moral issue. To me, the porn stuff and the sexual hedonism and deviancy and degeneracy to me is a moral issue. And the trouble, I was debating whether I would come on or not because the problem is I can't really shame you. I mean, you don't have a moral code. You're if you do, you're not bound.
Really, I don't have a moral code just because I've had sex before marriage or something. I don't have a moral code. I don't have an ethical consciousness.
Correct. And so it's impossible for me to shame somebody like this.
Have you ever researched anything in your life? Like, have you ever?
Yeah, I've researched things in my life. Yeah, I have.
You don't understand how someone can have ethical standards that don't comply with your own, but that doesn't make them an immoral person. They're not moral along the lines that you personally think is your moral compass, but that's a very egocentric view, is to push your own morals onto other people.
It's actually Catholic. It's Catholic. But I mean, it's funny because I'm sure JF, like me and JF have had this conversation on this show like a million times with atheists and all kinds of people. But and I've talked to many people like in recent weeks in person on streams, and it always comes back to the question of morality, the problem of morality for people that are not really people who are not Catholic, which is to say that if you don't believe in extrinsic morality that's established authoritatively outside of human beings, it's really hard for people to make, Jay Dyer likes to use this phrase, universal world claims and say, well, X is good, X is bad. I mean, the most a person like yourself could say is, I believe something is bad. And, for people who watch JF, like we've heard this a million times before, but that's just not sufficient to have a moral society, to have any kind of society. And look, if you had it your way, not only, it's funny too, because you're like, well, I'm running a business. Like, I don't think women should be running businesses. I don't think people, or rather women, should be working in businesses, So it's like, well, I'm running a business. Like, oh, like, is that supposed to be like good? Is that supposed to be better? I mean, to me, you ought to be in the home, should have babies, should have a husband. You should be raising them. You're engaged?
I'm engaged. Hi.
Oh, God.
I'm engaged to actually a very conservative Christian man.
Yeah. What a sucker. I feel bad for him.
Not a sucker.
I don't mean to be rude, but how old are you?
I'm 27 and he's 29.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What's happening?
Really,
this is the last thing I needed today.
So would you say, so why did a bunch of primarily men give me $200,000 to build a company? I didn't do anything. I didn't take my clothes off. I didn't webcam.
You're dumb.
I did it merely on my own intellectual merit.
I'm sorry. I
worked at a top-tier investment bank on Wall Street. What do you say to that?
I don't like Wall Street. I don't like investment bankers. Anybody would give a loan to a woman running a business deserves to have their money lost. But
so do you just think women are stupid? Like, clearly, like,
no. I love
women on the Supreme Court. So I'm a little confused.
Women. Believe me, I love women. I cherish women. But I just think that they ought to be raising kids. I think plenty should be, but what about the ones who that's just not the right lifestyle for? Not that like one size does not fit all. It's like saying men should only ever go labor in the fields and make money and like hunt and bring home whatever. But like men are allowed to have all these different career paths and opportunities, but women can't. Yeah, correct.
Why?
Because men are designed to bring home the bacon. I mean,
yeah, but that's fine. They go out and they make the money, but they can still do all these other things that you don't agree women can do.
Yeah, well, women, I mean, like they're made for that particular purpose. Like
what about being actresses?
What about actresses?
Well, that's you can't have entertainment without women working in it of any kind.
That's true. I suppose you could have women actresses, but if we're talking about in a general sense, like, I don't know
women
if you could put a percentage on it,
and they can have
vast majority of women ought to be at home. And especially when we have this problem with our fertility rate. It would be one thing if the fertility rate were over 2.1. Then you could say, well, maybe
the world has an overpopulation problem as is. The world is not sustainable.
The world does not have an
rate. Yes, it does.
Overpopulation problem is like a brown people overpopulation problem, because our fertility rate for the white race is in peril. I don't know what podcast you're listening to, but the world's overpopulation problem is in Africa, it's in India. The kinds of people that are overpopulating the world, they're not inventors, they're not scientists, they're people that use dung for fuel. They're people who on average have an IQ of like 70 or 80. And like, look, you could have done it. I mean, I saw the stream. You were okay looking. If you were 18 and you were married away by your father and you had 10 children, man, we really could have had it. We really could have had something. But
you and me. Oh, wow.
Now you're, well, maybe you'll have some kids that, time's running out. The sand is going very quickly through the hourglass in terms of the biological clock. I don't want to get too personal what stage you're at, but maybe you'll be able to have some. Hopefully you won't get a divorce or anything. I mean, are you committed to your fiance? Are you going to have a divorce?
We've known each other for 11 years, actually.
That's good. Well, good. I mean, hey, we're putting it back together, right? I mean, are you gonna? I would say there's hope if you committed to being Catholic, but I really have no hope. I mean, like I said earlier, once a thought, always a thought. Tragically,
but I have a great life, and I have an amazing following, and I have been on major media. I've been on Fox. I've been on CNN. I am married. I have the best of both worlds. I work primarily from home because I run an internet company. It's an internet startup, So what is so limiting here? Why is this so bad? I mean, I'm going to create jobs. I'm going to create value.
Oh, I'm happy I'm happy for you. If you're happy,
why does it offend you so much for women to have a position? I mean,
it doesn't offend me.
Men. It clearly does. No,
I just think it's wrong.
To stay home and shut up and have sex and babies. That's why I get it.
Correct.
But why is
it up dinner too? Well, look, I mean, here's the problem is you're speaking in terms of the value you're speaking in terms of is economic. You know, you say, I'm creating jobs, I'm creating like economic value. And to me, this is such a perverted lens to view the world. I mean, what creates value is a home that is
There's plenty of women who do that, though.